Hey, it's Nathan. So yesterday I had my first session with a tutor. That's Eric walking around in the back. He owns a co-working space that I work in. So yeah, I got a math tutor. That's awesome. So I like this semester. I knew almost right away like math is just way too much for me. Um, it's taking up way too much of my time. There's no way that I can get all the courses done that I need to get done in this semester and work and continue pursuing like career stuff, etc. This thing was just taking up too much. And so I knew I needed help, and I admitted that, and that was the first step. And then I was like, okay, well, what can I do? I can get a math tutor. Like that's the first place I went. So I started asking around at church, and I ran into a couple people who actually did math tutoring, but they didn't have time, and then a couple people who knew a couple more at the local university. And so I was like, all right, well, keep your feelers out there. And then the next day was Monday, and we attended a church small group, which is just a smaller group of people. Instead of getting together with everybody on Sunday, you get together with a couple people. And so ours is on Monday nights. So we got together and we had a new guy show up, and the new guy just happens to be a math teacher at the local high school. And so he didn't talk about that at first until I said, we were asking what we could pray for each other about, and I was like, well, I need help with math. And he was like, well, what kind of help do you need? Where are you at? And I handed him the book and said, this is where I'm at. And he was like, that's what I'm teaching right now. So I'd be happy to help you out with this. About how long a week are you looking for? And I was like, I think if you could help me like maybe 2 hours a week or something, just one day, one evening, we could knock it all out, and then that would be that. And he was like, oh yeah, totally, I can do that. So yesterday it was our first session, and we actually spent 3 hours together because I had a bunch of catching up to do still, because there are a few concepts from the last chapter that I didn't have grasped yet. And then my current chapter stuff is due like Sunday. So I'm a little behind this week. Um, but we spent about 3 hours together, and it was awesome. Oh my gosh, like, oh man, there's no way that I could have accomplished in 3 hours what the two of us accomplished. Um, he just knows his crap. And so when we were going through something, I could just stop him right at that moment and say, hey, this just happened in a way that I don't totally understand. Let's break this particular thing down. Um, it's a little bit different than videos. Like, I love Khan Academy. I think Khan Academy is freaking fantastic. And I watch Professor Leonard videos on YouTube as well. And one other guy that I can't remember the name of his channel right now. But those guys are all fantastic. But one of the things that happens to me a lot is that I end up watching their videos in like super speed, because I quickly grasp a lot of what they're saying, but I don't quickly grasp very particular things sometimes, and so I need those things broken down. And then the other thing is that sometimes, this happens actually with me with Sal from Khan Academy a lot. He has a particular way of doing things just from experience, and he doesn't realize that he is doing that way because of his experience. So it's not necessarily like a hard and fast math rule that everybody would know. It's like a thing that he's picked up over time from having done so much math, and so he's created a few shortcuts or a few ways that he writes things. This particularly stuck out to me when I was trying to learn long division of polynomials. There's just a few things that he does that sort of, they're faster and they're better, but I didn't understand why they were happening, so I thought I had missed a rule or I wasn't sure, and it just didn't intuitively click to do things the way he did. And maybe it will in a couple of years or something, but it didn't right now. So anyway, it was fantastic to have someone available right at the time who could stop and break down those individual points for me. That was very handy. I will also say that he's a math teacher for high school math, so he's taught what I'm learning for like 15 years. So he knows this stuff, like forwards, backwards, sideways, rooted, squared, nomialed, whatever. So anyway, and also like we spent there 3 hours yesterday, and we got all the way up through all the concepts. We didn't actually do any of the problems that I need to get done for the week. And so in the future, we kind of discussed like, hey, how do we want to tackle this in the future? And he understands that the whole purpose of what I'm doing is that I need to pass this class and I need to C or better, because I have to get a certain grade average in order to actually qualify to receive my degree from the school. So I can't kind of whiff anything. And so we decided to get together once a week for 2 hours and to do all of my homework together, teaching me as much as we possibly can so that I don't bomb the test, because I can't bomb the test either. I don't have to do really fantastic on the test. I just can't totally I can't let them destroy me. So anyway, we'll probably be tackling it different in the future. If you're looking for speed, I would recommend that also, because while our time together yesterday was great, knowing that I have to go back and invest more time now after doing what we learned into doing all of the problems still that are sitting out there, and we didn't get to like sort of combine those things, that feels like a really missed opportunity to me. So in the future, if you're looking for that speed, I would recommend tackle all of the problems that you have for your homework stuff during the time that you have it together if you have a math teacher, or if you're trying to learn those concepts while you are using the homework that you have to get done. And so use the homework as the practice problem that you need to solve. That can be a little tough because you don't get to know whether you got it right or not. There's no like, hey, this thing gets it right for you or not, whatever. That was another really convenient thing about having a math tutor there, is that I could just be like, hey, here's my solution for this problem, and then he could just be like, oh yeah, you did that right, or oh no, you didn't do that right. Like that is just like having an answer key. It's awesome. So overall, my recommendation would be get a tutor. It's freaking fantastic. Also, extra perk for me, he's not charging me anything, so I didn't even buy him a cup of coffee last night, which I wanted to and didn't get the chance to. So super cheap. We'll make him dinner or something for he and his family a few times over the duration. At the very least, I'm positive I'll have a chance to pay him back, and I'll look for that opportunity. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Get a tutor. It's fantastic. Thanks.